Now we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 14 live weigh-in. If you can believe that we're at week 14, guys. It's crazy.
Great.
Seriously, I can't believe how fast the time is going. We are in quarter 2. It's really funny. Okay, there we go. Now it's live.
Now we're live.
Now we're really live because now we're live on the site.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's how much of a delay we have. So, there we go. All right. Well, anyway, I am Amy, aka Waters' wife, and as you can tell, we are short-staffed today because we have Kurt, who is in the Caribbean on a cruise, and we're not jealous whatsoever.
I hate cruises.
Right?
I actually hate cruises, so.
I was going to say, Chantal actually doesn't like cruises, which is crazy. I mean, it's unlimited food in the middle of the ocean.
Who likes that, right?
Right? No, I'm just teasing. Anyway, well, that's where Kurt is, if anybody is wondering. He should be back. I think he's back next weekend, so he should submit some roll of film for whatever I'm saying, for next week's live. Not live. Next week's weigh-in. Okay, before we go any further, I'm just going to say I am on major allergy alert right now, and I was asleep like 20 minutes ago, so I apologize for whatever I say tonight. Anyway, that said, we do have the amazing Chantal and the wonderful Todd joining us today. Hello,
Hola.
Bonjour.
Hello,
Bonjour.
your glasses are so cute, Chantal. I love them.
Thank you. It's nice to be able to see.
Oh, I bet.
I know, it's so crazy. You go for so long not knowing that there's anything wrong with your eyes because that's just what you have. And then you magically can see in HD TV.
Right? No, I remember when I first got glasses when I was like 13, 14, and we live right by the mountains, and I didn't realize you could see trees on the mountain. And that was like mind-boggling to me. I'm like, whoa, crazy. And I don't think a lot of people realize that Todd wears glasses until his update last week.
With his Boston Red Sox hat.
Yeah.
I'm super blind. I can't even see you guys right now. I was just kind of joking, but like everybody's a blur. Well, right now you guys are HD.
Well,
Now
why
you
don't you
guys
get
are-
contacts or wear your glasses?
I have a weird stigmatism, and my eyes are super dry. So I've tried like 5 or 6 different contacts over the years, and they always pop out, and it's no bueno. So I just started. One day I'm gonna get LASIK.
LASIK was the best decision I ever made. I figured because I had weight loss surgery, and that was one of the scariest things I'd ever done. And so the next year I was like, well, that was really scary. I bet I could go through LASIK. And so I just made it happen. And, like, there was nothing anyone could tell me beforehand. Like, they could all tell me their experiences. And I was like, no, I'm terrified. They're going to shoot lasers in my eyes. And what if I turn my head and the laser goes, like, in my brain? Like, no. And so I still just went and had it done. They gave me the Valium. Like, I had to be seriously, like, held down. And then it was fine. It, like, stung for, like, 2 minutes afterwards, and I was completely fine. I would go do it every week if I had to. It was well worth it.
Our
Yeah.
pastor was talking about his experience with LASIK eye surgery, and he said they said you'll feel a little pressure. He said, but it seriously felt like somebody was standing on his eyeball.
Yeah.
But he had it done like 15 years ago, he said, and then he could smell skin burning.
Screw that
So
noise.
he said it was a horrific experience.
Yeah, they must be doing, either they do it differently now, or I didn't have any of that. Like, they push on your eye, like, if you push on your eyes till you see stars, Like
Yeah.
there was that feeling because they had to put like this suction cup on your eye. And basically they push so hard that it goes black so you can't see anything. And then for me they shot lasers which made air bubbles. And so they didn't have to use a scalpel to cut my eye. It just, the bubbles connected, and then that made it so they could peel the flap.
Ew, that's
It sounds
disgusting.
scary, and I watched the video, like they give you a DVD of it, and it's insane, but like they really took care of me. Like, because while you wait for the bubbles to connect, they put me in like a massage chair. And again, I had a Valium, and so I was just like, who cares what I'm doing? And then Tyson was there, and so while I was just waiting, they just, I don't know, I just was there with Tyson and didn't have a, like, I knew I needed to be scared, but I couldn't figure out how to be scared anymore. Because the volume just made me like, woohoo! So, I don't know. I don't know why I just totally, like, hijacked that whole conversation about LASIK, but. And in the chat, they were saying that they can't afford LASIK. I just put it on my flex spending, and now they have it so your flex spending from last year like went till March 15th, so you could put some from last year, and then start of this year you could double up. But I also heard that you can always roll over now. I don't know that. But anyway.
I know a lot of companies too are doing it where you can like put it on a payment plan or something like that, just like you would do like an orthodontist or something like that.
Yeah.
For braces, except for LASIK. So just gotta find that right doctor. Do your research too.
Yeah, seriously, definitely do your research. There was only 2 doctors I considered here in Utah to do it.
You probably have like an eye going that way and an eye going that way if you're not careful. It'd be awful.
Come to Utah and have hoops. They're down. They do all
like,
the.
oh yeah, my LASIK looks great. So.
Anyway, well, eye vision is essential to health. I mean, it's about your whole body, right? If you can't see the screen to do your workout, how can you do your workout?
It's true. My senses would just automatically take me towards like carbohydrates, I think. If I couldn't see.
Your senses take you to a train track so you can get run over.
It's true. It's true. I do find train tracks quite a bit. We got held up by a train track today. It was so frustrating. We were just driving home from, I don't remember what we were doing, but we were driving home, and I was almost out of gas, and the train just, like, stops, and it's like, what are you going to do? Dang trains.
You can see the train from, like, if anybody watched on my channel when I was doing the flower bomb challenge, so if you watched the vlog that was, like, the behind the scenes, a train came by and we had to wait because it's like we live as close to the train tracks as you were standing in your update last week. And so I was like, oh my gosh, shut up. But I normally like trains. I really enjoy living by the tracks. Anyway, I actually like having this interaction that's not always just health related, you know. And I'm waiting for more questions. It seems like the chat is following along with what we're saying. I'm telling you, I was terrified of LASIK. There was nothing anyone could tell me about LASIK to make me not scared about it, even up to having it done, but it was worth it. I'm just pulling up Twitter fast to see if we have any questions before we get going. All right, no questions yet. Oh, commuter. I thought in the chat they're talking about the trains, obviously, and I thought she said computer train tracks, and I'm like, I don't know about computers.
It's like, that must be new. We don't have that here in Georgia yet.
Yeah, we don't have that internet train. Our internet machine runs with wires.
It's like, it must be European because they have a much better tram system than we do, so.
Yes. All right. Well, everybody joining in the chat, Phil is going to try and join in. He has other obligations that he was doing tonight, so he wasn't sure if he'd be here at what point. But so until then, we just thought, since we're kind of running skeleton crew, oh, Jackson joined us. That's better than anyone else.
Hi!
Hi, Jackson.
Say I'm feeling chunky today.
Oh, you and me, buddy. You and me.
Yeah, okay, we got it.
I like asparagus with salt too, buddy.
Is that what he said? Okay, good.
He's our health guru this time.
Yeah. He's saying you need to have asparagus and chicken. That's awesome. Oh, we're in the chat. They're saying that they have a healthy recipe for ice cream. So that's ice cream. Oh my gosh!
Is it frozen bananas by chance? I tried that the other day and it was pretty solid.
Was it?
Yeah, we made ice cream out of frozen bananas and some other stuff. But you put it in a food processor and it eventually makes your bananas really creamy.
Oh, okay.
Like ice cream. It's almost like a yogurt. So.
That sounds really good. My brother made us ice cream with, or I guess it's more of a smoothie, with it was just avocado, milk, and then there's the age-old debate between real sugar and artificial sugar. So whatever kind of sweetener fits your lifestyle, and blend that together. And so seriously, you would think an avocado, but it is so good.
Sounds good.
It totally is. I need a food processor. We have a really awesome blender, but what? Okay, wait a minute. I say that like I really know the difference. Does anybody know the difference between a food processor and a blender?
Food processors work a lot better.
Really?
I don't know. We have a magic bullet, and I was making I don't know if anybody on Facebook saw that I posted that cauliflower crust pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a magic bullet, which is essentially like a little miniature blender, and it just didn't work as well. It was kind of a pain in the arsenal, and it just wasn't blending like it should. And we put it in the food processor, and it was like 5 seconds, and you were done. But in the magic bullet in the blender, it just I don't know. It just didn't work as well.
I wonder if it. Like, cause isn't the bullet like it's just a smaller, somewhat cheaper, not cheap, but it's like a more.
How dare you? No, I'm just kidding.
Your blender is cheap. Well, we have a Blend Tech, so I know that that's like a higher end blender. Like it makes soups and mushes things together.
Yeah, the Magic Bullet's kind of like the cheaper version. I don't think it was more than $100. I could be wrong, but it wasn't that pricey. But it's handy because I use it for my smoothies in the morning, and it's perfect because it measures out like my 8 ounces of water and yada yada. And bless you.
Did I not mute?
No, I could see it though.
Okay. I was like, I swear I muted for that. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. They're saying I keep skipping her name because I can't say it properly. Farfalla.
Farfalle? Is it Farfalle?
Alfredo. Well, she's saying there's more attachments in the food processor, which makes sense because then you can vary like how much you blend or chop, mix, I assume.
Yeah, my parents have a Ninja, and they freaking love it. They use it all the time.
Yeah. I just want a kitchen with like every fancy gadget ever, just in the off chance that I would actually want to use it. But we have quite a lot of kitchen things. I know, Donna. I just
Donna, how's it going, Donna?
I just always I always want all these gadgets and stuff, but then the ones we have, like, I don't use it. I keep looking at our kitchen like somehow I'll will them into existence. Hey, look, there's my cat. Sorry, I'm telling you guys.
Is that tiger or gator?
That's
Your
Chloe.
cat's haircut cracks me up.
Well, her haircut's actually even more sad right now because from the distance it looks like she's rabbit kicking the couch. From the distance it looks like her hair is shorter, but she keeps growing her hair. Like, she needs to go in for a haircut because if you look at her up close, she has really scraggly hair because it's growing weird. Like, her own, I don't know, only half of her hair grew back this time. Long story short. Anyway, yeah, she gets haircuts because her brother can't process hairballs. It's good times. It's good times. All right. Well, we should probably jump into our weigh-ins, which I know is what everyone is here for. And I'll give a little explanation that we have been doing so awesome the last few weeks. We've had some amazing numbers down. But I think for the whole group, I will speak and say that we had a human week. So it wasn't our best week, which is kind of why we just kind of wanted to have a chat and just be a little bit more casual today. Just because, I don't know, my mental state is a little bit fragile, even though I've recommitted. We will start again, but I'll start with my bad news that I gained 2.8, so I'm 293.1. I was telling Chantel before we went live, like, I can give you the excuses that are valid excuses, but, like, I was on my period, I was retaining water, I'm really ill with allergies right now, I just have had a lot of emotional stress, so I had no willpower when it came to snacks and foods that came my way, so it wasn't good. Luckily, it was just a week, and I'm recommitting myself. The scale is an eye-opener, of course. So, and we have Shay loss weigh-ins this week, so I have like 4 days to get that down. But that's okay. So that's my human week, and we can go more into subjects later, but let's move on. Chantel, do you want to give your update?
Sure, you might hear a little person talking in the background, guys.
That's okay.
So last week I was 255. Don't click buttons, please. And this week I 258. So that is a 3-pound gain. I had a couple human weeks. These past 2 weeks have not been my best, and I'll admit it. But I recommitted to myself, like, not only with the group, but to me it's important that you think of yourself first with this weight loss thing, because it's for you, it's not for anybody else. So I recommitted to myself last night, and I went for a nice walk, and I started the Bikini Body Mommy Challenge on YouTube, which she's awesome. I love her. And so we've been eating healthy today, huh? We had to restart all over again. So that's that, but we will get back on, well, we were talking about trains earlier, so let's just hop back on that weight loss train and keep going, because we can do this. And faith in all of us, and I know we can do it. Okay, I'm going to let Todd go now because we have gibber today.
Go ahead, Todd.
First, I want to give a shout out to Donna. She said she's down 261 from 280, which is awesome. That's big stuff right there. So very nice, very nice. Mine was not that successful. I'm down zero point 0.4 from last week, so it was the same as the week before. So I'm 338 even, I believe. Which, you know, better than nothing, I suppose. But you just get a little frustrated. Obviously, something isn't working as well as I was doing the first couple weeks because I was dropping like crazy the first couple. But I think it's just time to just recommit a little bit and, jump on the horse and really just start going full blown with it. It's tough because we're kind of all going through whatever issues and addiction and food and all that stuff. It's challenging. It's challenging.
Seriously, I mean, it's like hard, 'cause especially doing this out in the public eye, like you want to portray that every week is a good week. You want to portray, even if it's not a bad, like if it is a bad week or whatever, you want to be like, oh yeah, no, it's totally just water weight, or oh, it's muscles, and yeah, like I don't want to downplay valid reasons. There are valid reasons. Everyone's weight loss journey is completely different, and not one single person's weight loss journey is a slope straight down. Like, it is a complete roller coaster every single week. I think the thing is like understanding what your challenges and what your hurdles were, and evaluating and like accepting that that's what happened, and then being able to recommit, like we've been saying, and making the necessary steps. And that doesn't mean that just because we're sitting here talking about what went wrong this last week or however long, that next week we're going to be 100%. Like it's not like that. And like I don't know, I've had to do a lot of like soul searching in the last like 6 weeks with this project, and I hope that in naming this project the 500-pound project, that I don't want anyone to think that it's strictly about the numbers, because it's not. Your weight loss, you cannot, I don't know how to phrase this without coming across wrong. You have to have goals. If you don't have a goal, you're never really going to have anything to work towards. So of course it's the 500-pound project, because we all want to do our share of getting our 100 pounds towards that 500 pounds. But more importantly than that, and why we have the nickname CollabTheFlab, which is what we're more known by, is because we want to make changes and make better, healthy decisions in our lives. So, we're all going to have stumbles, we're all going to have falls, and I'm just proud of us for like being a solid team and being there for each other. And these people in the chat and those people who are watching this later, like we owe a lot of our success and our learning and our growth and our development to you guys for being a support and doing this right alongside of us. Like in this chat, people are talking about what goals they've had, getting through Easter together. Like that's incredible to me that we have this little community that we're doing this, we're getting this done together. I don't know.
Definitely.
A little rant by Amy. I just love everybody. We had a bad week. Some of you in the chat had great weeks, and I'm so proud of you, but I'm so proud of all of us for just being here.
Definitely.
Donna says she started a Facebook page to chronicle her journey, and when she's having bad days, she has an awesome crowd that she turns to. So that's exactly the same thing, like creating your environment,
Yeah, Donna, if you want to leave that link to your page in the chat thing, I'll be sure to go follow it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely link us to that so we can all like it. Kiki Vlogs is saying that she's saying it to Todd, but I think it's a good good advice to all of us is to write down your thoughts. Tyson and I just watched a movie last night. Couldn't remember the name of it for the life of me. Wild, just called Wild. And she talked about writing down her thoughts and her journey, and it became like her journal became a book. But it's interesting to go back and see, putting your thoughts to paper. That's the phrase I was looking for.
Yeah.
I think this emotional journey is by far the hardest. We talk about the food addiction and how I basically didn't turn down almost anything that came my way this week, and it's not because I was hungry. It was because just emotionally I just didn't have the willpower. But
Yeah. I'm with you on that one.
I don't know. Chantel says she'll be right back. She's just gonna run Jackson downstairs really fast. But I don't know. It's just why is weight loss seriously so hard? That's the age-old question. And what's so silly is this whole Juliana Rancic is in the news right now, and I love her. I don't love everything she does, and she's talking about how she is getting all of this feedback that she's too skinny, and all she wanted for years is to be pregnant, and her doctors were telling her she's not healthy enough, or she doesn't have enough weight to get pregnant, and so they ended up having to use a surrogate. And so she's in the news again this week for people saying she looks anorexic and stuff, and I just sit there and think, oh, I would say I would much rather have that problem. However, I know, from reading the articles, what a horrible time she goes through and the feedback she gets on her appearance, and I don't think she would want to switch problems with anyone with a weight problem, but I don't know, I just think that there's just, I don't know, is anyone ever really happy with their body? Okay, so I actually am already on Donna's page. I kind of thought I was, but then I was thinking it was something different. But
I'll go search for that here shortly. For sure.
Sweet. Welcome
One
back.
other thing.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Hey guys, sorry, my breath. I just ran 2 flights of stairs.
That's a first, working out during the live weigh-in.
Yeah.
Gotta get those extra steps in,
Yeah.
So every half an hour we have to drop everything and sprint for 5 minutes and then come back.
Oh my goodness. During my boxing class last week, he had us sprinting through the gym, and I seriously looked at him and I was like, you're paying for the funeral, right? Because I seriously thought I was going to die, because I am not a runner. My fastest jog is somebody else's really fast walking. It's not good.
I've mastered the fat man jog. My entire life. I half joke about it, but I played baseball year round. It wasn't until college where I really started to kind of blow up weight-wise. And baseball, I used to play about 200 games a year. I played year round. During the summer, I played in 3 different leagues and all that good stuff. I had one coach that, we called it Suicide Week. It was the 3 weeks before we were legally allowed to practice as a full squad. And all we did was run. We just ran, and his goal, you weren't allowed to really stop until you threw up.
Oh my gosh.
And that's when I mastered the fat man jog, because I'm not much of a runner, even when I wasn't huge. I've always been a big guy, but the fat man jog essentially is going at the pace of someone that would be walking, but you've got this little leap to you, so it looks like you're jogging. And really, at the end of the day, it ends up being more of a workout because you're lifting yourself, and like you start getting cramps in your legs. But the Fat Man jog is where it's at when someone's forcing you to run, and you can't really run or don't want to run. But
oh my gosh,
I got pretty good at it.
You're gonna have to film yourself doing this and put it in next
Oh God.
update. So write that down because we're all gonna hold you to it.
Hopefully I don't have to do the Fat Man jog, but I will reenact it one of these days.
Travis tells me he wants me to work out till the walls sweat because when he was in the Army, that's what his drill sergeant would say to him was, you work out till the walls sweat. So as soon as a little tiny bit of condensation would show up on the walls, he would blast the air conditioner, and they would still have to work out till some condensation showed up on the wall.
Oh, man.
That is insane. Like, I'm like sitting here in shock, like, okay,
He always does that jokingly. I'm like, I didn't do it for a reason.
I'm sure it smelled so good in there, too.
Bunch of gross mess left.
Yeah. I'm sensitive to smell, so I probably would have passed out.
Yeah, you're like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yep.
Quit.
Game over. I'll go Fat Man jog outside. You guys keep it going.
I just do this, like, shuffle, because I got it in my head that I wanted to do the couch to 5K, like, this is probably 2 years ago, and I just do this, like, weird shuffle, like, because I was just trying to teach my body how to run, but it didn't work out so well, and I have really bad knees, so I don't know that I'll ever be a jogger. I had this, like, bright goal in mind of being this, like, person that woke up before the sunrise and, like, go for a jog, and I don't know that that'll ever be me, but I did just throw out something. Like, I don't know why I threw this out there, but maybe if you guys want to watch and help me get there just so you see it, that's great. But I'm close to 1,000 subscribers on my personal channel, and I'm have an itchy nose because of allergies, but I'm doing a giveaway at 1K. And then I was like, well, if I can hit, this is like a huge miracle, so that's why I'm making this. Just get to it, Amy, I know. If I can hit 5K by the end of the year, then I will run a 5K. That said, it will take me probably 6 hours to run it because I will probably run and then I will have to stop and catch my breath. I won't walk. I said I will run it. So then I'll have to stop, compose myself, and then run again and then stop. But I will do it. If I hit 5K this year, I will run a 5K.
Can you segue a 5K? Because I can Paul Blart the crap out of that.
I can't wait for his second movie.
I haven't seen a preview for it. I mean, I saw a poster for it, and I was like, I didn't even know that they were making that.
It's for me, that movie is like it's one of those it's so bad it's good kind of things. Like I don't know.
I just love Kevin James.
I do too. I do too.
My Chunky Monka crush.
There was this, his, like, comedy routine that was on cable. I don't know if he has more than just the one, but I always end up seeing just this one. And he talks, like, about his friend comes over and he's, like, sweating, and his friend's like, "You've been working out?" And he's like, "I peeled an orange." But it's, like, so my favorite, like, where he talks, like, in his car and he, like, drops a dime between the seats, and so he's, like, with 2 fingers, like, trying to do the little, like, scissor to get the dime, or when his girlfriend tries to, like, open the car door when he's unlocking, and it's like, he's like, "Step away from the door." Oh, yeah, Tyson is saying when he's talking about eating a Big Mac and he sounds like a bear because he's like, But okay, so we do have Dylan is asking about my surgery. We've talked about it before. I had weight loss surgery 4 years ago. I had duodenal switch, which is where they remove 70% of your stomach and rearrange your intestines. So I use a very small percentage of my small intestine. So weight loss surgery is not a magic cure. I never got below 200 pounds, although my starting weight was 400 pounds. So I did get pretty far, and so I still consider it somewhat a success because it got me to a point where I can now do more. But this far out, it's all on me. It's up to me what I decide to do with exercise and food. So that's kind of my campaign during this, is that weight loss surgery was necessary for me to help me with feeling full, because I used to just never feel full and I would just eat constantly. But with any weight loss surgery, it's still, you still have to make decisions. You can have a stomach this big, but if you're filling it with candy, you're not going to lose weight. So anyway, that is the weight loss surgery I had, duodenal switch. And then she also says that she had to do suicide week when she did softball, so she can relate to you, Todd.
That suicide week is no joke, guys. They call it that because you'd almost rather commit suicide than go to practice or do whatever. The way we did it, I doubt any of you have been to Memorial Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, but that's where I went to high school, and Memorial Stadium, part of our first step of the day was running the stairs in the stadium, and we'd go up and down each aisle all the way around the stadium. And it's a big stadium, but it was rough. And like they time you, and every day that we went to practice, you had to like increase by like 5 or 6 seconds. So that's one of the reasons I mastered the Fat Man jog, because you pace yourself, don't rush it. I was like, everybody was running like a 10-minute mile. Like my mile was like 26 minutes. So I had, yeah. I really paced myself. So.
Hey, you know, I mean, there's that saying, you're lapping everyone on the couch, right?
I think I got it down to like 11 or 12 minutes or something like that.
Oh wow. Well, see.
All better than I can do at my fastest.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way. There's just no way. Edith and I just don't run very fast, if at all. Again, for new people, Edith is the belly. She goes with me everywhere.
It's like you have a conjoined twin the way you talk about her.
Well, I gotta tell you, I don't know if either of you did the challenge that I talked about in the update last week. It was a miserable fail for me. I only did 3 of the 5 days, but I'll go back and do it again. But in this one, there were like jump squats and jumping jacks and anything involving jumping. Edith gets really excited because she claps about that for a little bit. Oh my god! So I'm just saying, it's like having your own little cheering section.
I can only imagine, like, somebody needs to put that in a movie where they've got like clap on, clap off lights, so like every time they're working out, the lights are going off and on. That'd be like perfect.
Oh, it would be. I feel like I'm blushing right now. I can imagine, like, if you were like someone walking outside our apartment and it's the lights on, off, on, off, on, off.
Like, what are you doing in there? Oh, just working out. I'm doing burpees.
Oh, well, speaking of burpees, when we did the Shay Carl challenge, like, I, like, trying to jump and then go down, like, that's how I messed up my wrist, because I'm, like, trying to get me and Edith off the ground and then back down to the ground, Ugh. And Donna's right, like our downstairs neighbors. I really honestly don't even know. We have 2 floors below us. The bottom floor, they got evicted, so no one's there. Maybe right now there's somebody moving in, I think. But the middle floor, I don't know who she is. She probably like hides from us because she's like, what the heck? The ceiling's coming down.
You see the little white dust come down from the ceiling.
Donna, oh, Amy's exercising again.
Oh my gosh. We lived in an apartment for 8 months, and we, thank God, lived at the downstairs apartment, but I hate apartment living.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
I'm so used to, because I grew up in a house, and then I rented my house that I grew up in from my parents. So I've always been used to a house, and I am so thankful for this place now, because that was just miserable. There's no yard for the dogs or my kid. So it's nice to have a house.
Yeah, Les and I started kind of the preliminaries of house shopping. So we really want to buy a house soon, and we're just so sick of apartments and townhomes and things like that that are just, we've got the neighbors and we've got our dog and there's nowhere for him to play, and we have like a 1-car garage right now, and it's such a pain in the butt because, you know, like depending on who's got to leave in the morning, we have to like rotate our cars, and
Right.
oh my God.
You have a kid too, because you'll learn this. If you have loud neighbors and they wake your kid up, you're ready to murder someone.
Yeah. Well, I don't even have a kid yet, and I'm already ready to murder someone. It's just...
It gets worse. When your baby comes out, I'm not even kidding. You're going to be like, okay, I'm getting the shotgun. Who's dying tonight?
I'll just get an air horn, and like anytime somebody's like being obnoxious, I'm just gonna knock on their door and air horn them
Oh my
in the
God.
face.
They open it.
Yeah. I just I'm so over it. And I'm like in college, I was on the top floor in the dorms, and then when I got out of college, we were on the top floor of an apartment, and then for some reason nobody has an elevator anymore, so like you carry all your groceries up 3 flights of stairs. And then when you move in and out, you're going up and down 3 flights of stairs. Like all of my friends always lived on the top floor. I mean, the views are great, but I just helped a friend move out of his apartment in Atlanta, and he's on the top floor. And like, I don't know if you've ever tried to move a floppy king mattress down like 5 floors. I mean, I was like a water bucket by the time that thing was over. And then, you know, like we're moving to this new apartment, and I'm just like, please tell me, like, you're on 2nd floor tops. And he's like, oh, we're on the 6th floor. I'm sorry. I'm like, you son of a... But, yeah, long story short, I cannot wait to be in a house again.
That's so crazy. Like, the 6th floor and they didn't have an elevator?
They had an elevator, but it was far away from where you parked. It was like on the complete opposite side, so we were just going with the let's just get it over with. And a lot of the stuff that he had was so big that it wasn't going to fit in the elevator. We made that mistake with his mattress, and luckily he's a small guy.
I didn't even
But
you guys are scaring me because, okay, so we are on the top floor. We're on the 3rd floor, and we always pick the top floor because of the above-mentioned issues. We don't want to hear what's going on upstairs. Our first apartment, we were on the middle floor, and we could hear the people below us and the people above us, and we hated it. So we just have always said we were going to be on the top floor. And also, Utah gets a lot of nasty bugs, and so the higher you are, the less bugs. So anyway, we're considering moving because they're building a brand new complex across the street. And I'm like, oh man, because I'm all excited because there's going to be 4 floors, so of course we're going to pick the 4th floor and there's an elevator. But I didn't
nice.
think about like our king mattress trying to fit in there. But this new complex, like, it'll be awesome if we do decide to move there, because the gym is going to be like state of the art, because it's like being built right now, and it's going to have one of those on-demand fitness things. I don't know if any of you guys watch like Mel and Phil, Phil who joins us usually. Mel's well, I guess they both live there. Their apartment complex has that on-demand fitness where she can just go into the fitness room and pick what workout she wants to do, and then it like starts the class. So we would have that if we moved there.
That
But
sounds cool.
That's awesome.
my stinking nose. I did just get a message from Phil saying that he is tied up and he's sorry that he was unfortunately not going to be able to join this week. But obviously he says he's going to try again next month. He really enjoys jumping in and being there for us. So for anyone who had questions for Phil, I know there was we had one question from Laura that I was going to ask him. We will hold that question, and if you guys can hold your questions till either next month, which is only because we did this one off, so it's in like 3 weeks we'll be live again. Or, of course, you can always reach out to him on Twitter. He's Phil O'Reilly 86. So, yeah, reach out to him. He's always available. I asked him a question about wheatgrass on Twitter this week, and he got back to me within like a few hours. So,
Yeah,
guys,
he's really
my
good.
nose. Oh, sorry, Todd. Go ahead.
I was just reiterating what you're saying. He's really good at getting back with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we feel so like lucky. I am just so like excited that he's been so willing to work with us. He had seen when I initially was talking about this back at the end of December and saying that this is what we were starting immediately. He was just like, "Oh, that is awesome. Like, what can I do to help?" And he's just been right by our side through all of this. So, but I think it'll be really good because our new members, Kurt, and I'll go ahead and announce the name of our 5th member, Josh. I think it'll be good for them to be here when Phil is here so that they can ask their questions too. So yeah, so that'll be good. In 3 weeks, I believe it is. Every time we delay it by a week because of the holidays keep seeming to be on the first Sunday of the month, like Super Bowl and now this, and then it's like a shorter time to the next one. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's live already.
Yeah, I totally forgot that we had last week I knew that we had a live weigh-in this week, but this week I completely brain farted and actually filmed my segment for the weigh-in thing. And like I was doing my outro, I was just like, "Hey, thanks for watching." And I'm like, "Because you're never gonna see this." And I'm just like, I'm like, "I'm an idiot." I'm like, "Well, at least I don't have to edit it."
Good practice. It's good.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, I killed it this week, but nobody's gonna see it."
Oh. It's so funny. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, like because I always. For those of you watching, we have a running Facebook chat where we kind of keep in contact every day. We try to check in with each other. And usually on Fridays, I'll start to be like, "Okay, everybody, get ready with your filmed segments to send to me on Saturday." And I seriously, like at 3 different points on Friday, went into the chat and started typing it. I'm like, I don't have to do that today. What am I doing? And then when I did it again, like the second and third time, I was like, Amy, like, stop.
I know that I am really excited for this week for new body shots because I know there's going to be a huge change in all of us. So that's something exciting, guys. We have new body shots coming.
Yes, I'm going to have the new intro, I'm hoping. I'm a little concerned just because I don't know when Kurt exactly will be back, so hopefully he can get back and get his pictures to us in time. If so, then we'll have the brand new intro with Josh and Kurt in it.
Thank God.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Debated in this latest one.
I had limited resources, so I just grabbed a screenshot of everyone. The only reason I actually even did that instead of just using the other like headshots we have is because I don't have a headshot for Kurt, and so I grabbed his as a screenshot from his weigh-in, and I was like, well, his is kind of like taking his hat off, like movement, and so I was like, well, that's what we're all gonna do then. My OCD wanted to like keep it all the same.
My OCD is like wishing we all could like take pictures by in the same place, so like everybody has like the same style kind of thing.
Bye, Todd, because he's an amazing photographer.
Yeah, Todd, just hop on some airplanes, fly to all of us.
Yeah, if you guys will.
Beautiful weather in Colorado right now, so.
Hey, it's really nice here too. You know, Shane Dawson was in Atlanta yesterday, so I'm just saying, lots going on here right now. So.
Is it bad? I have no idea who that is.
A little bit, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Shane Dawson was one of like the original kind of big YouTubers. He was the one who worked at what was that weight loss program? I don't remember. It's like one of the big ones.
Weight loss program, like Biggest Loser?
No, like the weight loss diet program.
Weight Watchers?
Jenny Craig, I think.
Oh, I'm a beach buddy.
Yeah, he worked at Jenny Craig, and he filmed a YouTube video just screwing around in Jenny Craig and got fired. And and they didn't just fire him. His mom worked there, and his brother worked there, and they fired them too.
Oh my gosh!
They fired like everybody. Yeah. So they fired like everyone in his family, and YouTube was actually helping, support the family because of his videos. He kind of blew up from that video, I think, and he was able to support people while they found new jobs and things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, his content's a little out there. He's actually been a lot more tame here recently than his original stuff. He used to do a lot of like cross-dressing and he's a funny guy. But
yeah, I've never heard of him. I'll have to look him up. That's how much I know about the YouTube world.
Well, a lot of these book companies went to these big YouTubers, and they're like, we want you to write a book because you have this massive following. And, so they did. Shane Dawson was going around on his book tour, and he was at Barnes & Noble, and I think they had like several thousand people outside of Barnes & Noble getting their book signed. But he's a New York Times best-selling author now because of his following on YouTube, so...
Wow. It seems like any of the big YouTubers that want to do a book kind of can. Like Shay Carl, I know he's doing a book with his son, which actually might be really relevant for all of us to read when it comes out, because I don't think it's the official title, but the working title is Fat Dad, Fat Kid, or Son, or something like that. And that's that kind of... Like, it kind of makes sense that a lot of times when the parents are overweight, that gets passed on not only genetically, but just habitual to the
lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's been huge for me because I don't want Jackson to ever be in the place that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I have been, like, teaching him healthy meals. Like, I know he's only almost 2. But still, get them this young, and they'll learn something, because this is when they're taking in their most knowledge. Right. So, like, when I do my workouts, I'll pretend that he's doing push-ups with Mom, and we'll do, like, baby planking and baby yoga and stuff like that. And it's fun, because he laughs. He thinks it's a blast. And if he always thinks that working out and eating healthy is fun, then he'll enjoy that for the rest of his life.
Exactly. I think that's incredible that you're doing that. Like stopping the cycle, or even if it wasn't a cycle with like the generations before or whatnot, but just making sure not to pass on, I don't know, just bad habits. Or like, I am very, very, very picky, and I don't have children, but I would hope that like if I did have a child, I would hope that I wouldn't like hold them back from trying new foods and stuff just because I'm picky about it. So
no, I can understand that. I'm picky.
Yeah, I think you've talked about that, and I think that's awesome that you're doing that.
Travis is not picky, so when we have new foods in the house, it's usually because of him. Travis will eat anything. I'm not even kidding.
No. That's why you're the yin and yang or whatever.
Yeah. That's us. Complete opposites. From the county, so... Oh, you guys don't know what the county is, so never mind. It's a thing in northern Maine. If you're from the county, it's a big thing.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. Oh, that totally made me think of something else I was gonna say, but my lighting just got brighter. I don't know. Mike in the chat.
I totally agree with Donna, by the way. It drives me nuts when parents will, kind of tell their kid to go get a candy bar when they're acting up and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to, okay, I really don't want to throw my parents under the bus because my parents did the very best job that they could. And, but I think a lot of my emotional attachment with food inadvertently came from some of the style that they had. My mom has always struggled with her weight. I was adopted, though, so I didn't get that genetically from her, but her two biological children and my other adopted sister, they did not struggle with their weight. I mean, as adults, of course, they have their issues now, but as children, they didn't struggle. But for me, I have always been the bigger child. I never lost the baby weight by any means. And so it was kind of frustrating, looking back, because there'd be so many times where, after dinner we would go sit and watch TV, and they'd get the box of ding dongs out or whatever, and everyone would get one except for me because I didn't need it, And so then, emotionally, you're just oh, I don't get one, and I don't want to say what my mom did was bad, because most of the time I would sit there and pout, and after a while she would eventually just give me one because I was pouting. But if there were ever the few times that she didn't give in, I would sneak into the kitchen and take two, whereas instead of just having the one. Or I specifically remember that I wanted to go into karate, but I was told that I needed, my parents were okay, lose some weight first and then we'll put you in karate. And I never got to take karate because I never lost the weight. So it was but if maybe I was just put in karate, maybe could I have lost weight? I don't know, but
could have been your passion.
For sure.
Yeah.
My cousin lost 200 pounds in karate.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a demanding sport. I did karate for 2 weeks and gave up on it because that was just too hard.
Yeah, he was over 350 pounds when he started. I think he was in 8th or 9th grade. He was a big boy, and he ended up becoming a black belt. He's super fitness guru now. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he was really into it. He had a really good, I don't know if you call him a sensei or what, but yeah, he lost a lot of weight doing that.
Yeah. I don't know, it's hard. I mean, I don't think that any parent, obviously being a parent, it doesn't come with the handbook of what to do, and I don't sit and blame my parents. I mean, of course, it's things that I think back on. Obviously, I brought it up, but I don't sit here and think, oh, I hate my parents for doing that. They did their very best, and I did get put into softball and basketball, so it's not like I wasn't in any sort of activity. I was in some year-round, or not year-round, but in the winter I took basketball, and it's called junior jazz for the Utah Jazz, and then in the spring I did softball. But I don't know, I sometimes wonder if I had done something that was more year-round, if it would have changed. But not to switch off of us, but I do want to address something that Dylan just brought up in the chat. She's saying that her mom bullies her about her weight and calls her a fat ass on the daily. First of all, Dylan, I mean, I speak for myself. I think I speak from the whole collab that if you ever need someone to talk to about that, any one of us would be so glad to have a chat with you, because I can only imagine the heartache that would stem from something like that. And please know that no parent is perfect, like we were saying. You know, I mean, my brother thought, he admitted to me later on in life that he thought if he had bullied me into losing, being embarrassed about my weight, that I would lose the weight. And I'm sure that that's probably the driving force behind your mom's actions, is just kind of for not knowing how to motivate. That's maybe where she's trying to go with that, but clearly that's not the solution. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean it's tough because I kind of went through something similar, and I don't think it was as direct as Dylan's mom saying that she the awful thing that she said, but being the bigger kid, my parents tried to do things to help me lose weight and to make me not feel alone. The whole family made a change, and because of that, people that didn't need to lose weight started feeling, shafted, like, why do I have to do this? And then all of a sudden, they'd kind of pick at you because, you start feeling even more like crap because people are just kind of calling you out and saying, like, why do I have to make the change? You're the one with the issue. And then it doesn't help anything, and everybody's made these sacrifices for you, and I don't know if we're kind of going in the same direction with that, but it hurts when people don't have, at least put on the front that you've got their full support when you're struggling with something like that. So I definitely feel for Dylan on that. That's horrible. I'm fortunate to not have had a bully in my family. On that, my dad would say things here and there that were not so pleasant, but he never made a habit of it. He'd say stuff, like if we had chips on the table and you went for chips after the meal had already completed, he'd be like, well, that's why you're not losing weight, but he'd say it in kind of a really harsh tone. That's kind of like a polite way of saying it, but and then, like, as you've got the chip in your hand, you just feel like a piece of crap. But it was just little things like that they don't really think is affecting you, but because mentally you're struggling with it, everything comes off so much more harsh. I don't know Dylan's mom or anything like that. Maybe that's just how she communicates, and being somebody that may need to lose weight, it comes off even 10 times harsher than it may sound. I don't know, but I don't know. It's either way, it's pretty awful.
Yeah.
I would say that, first off, Dylan, that if you're on our Facebook group, our group page that you like, there is a messaging button. So if you would like to talk to us privately for support, definitely feel free to message us, because all of us will be here for you. We are going through, it's a struggle. It is, and it's nice to have people that are in the same boat as you, that to have someone to talk to. And I wouldn't say I was bullied by my parents, but they have said things where it's like, oh, well, maybe if you lose a few pounds, or there'd be more things that you could do, or whatever. And it's like, that's really not helping. Especially, I know that all three of us have talked about depression and anxiety, and that really affects that as well, because that is a struggle within your mind with yourself. So when people are adding the fuel to the fire, it makes it worse. And I got bullied in high school, as I grew up in a very, very small town and full of a school. Okay, let's just put this in perspective. My middle school and high school were in one building, and there was maybe 200 of us. So there was me and one other girl that were on, maybe two other girls that were on the plus size, which I think is a stupid saying, just so we all are aware. And so when you're humiliated in front of all those people, it makes it harder. You're not going to want to strive to be anything better, because you just feel like crap. And so I mean, I don't know. But anyways, you are more than welcome to talk to us on our page, and you can message us anytime you want. Because we all see the messages, because we're all admins on the page, and we would love to talk to you if you'd like to talk more into it.
Yeah.
But that's a little thing.
That's that's the one drawback about all of us being on the page is I'll start getting notifications from people, and I'm like, what? And I go look, and it's something that one of you guys posted, and I don't get a notification that you posted it. I just get all the responses, and I'm like, what's happening? But in the message, the private messages are different, of course. So, I mean, and that offer goes out to any single one of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're definitely here for you guys. So just Dylan and anyone else who needs it, just know our hearts are going out to you guys right now. I mean, we can sit here and talk about, like, I mean, I've had an emotional couple of weeks, but all of you have emotional weeks too. And so it's like, you know, we are all in this together. That's like a good and bad thing. Like, I love that we're in it together, but it makes me sad that, like, other people know the battle, know the struggle, you know. But hang in there, girl. We're here.
We got your back.
Yes.
Muted. I just said faux show with a muted mic, so.
Faux show.
For show.
Good. Well, we're glad, Dylan. Thank you, first of all, like, for typing that out. That was actually a really good conversation to have. I mean that's tough. It's bullying is always an interesting thing, and I do think that term gets thrown around a little too loosely. If there's an argument, then immediately somebody's a bully. But I think that in Dylan's situation, you know, that's real bullying, and it's happening not only by someone in her life, but someone in her life who's supposed to protect her. So that's rough. So I'm sorry to hear that, Dylan. But yeah, is there any other things like that anybody wants to bring up or discuss? I'm pulling up the Twitter page really fast just to make sure. We didn't really promote the Twitter so much this time around because I think a lot of times having people in here in the chat section is a really great place to just get the questions live. So I didn't really promote the Twitter hashtag too much. Let me just refresh. Yeah, we don't have anything right now. Let's see. Whitney is just saying, oh, Whitney's mom is trying to lose weight. She's come so far, but there's days when she's hard on herself. I mean, that's the same with us, Whitney. Like, I mean, where I had a bad week and gained, it's really hard not to get down on yourself, especially like we were talking about. You like want your weight loss to be this just immediate drop, this slope, and it's hard. It really is this messed up mental game because you get a thrill off of seeing the numbers drop, but then when the numbers aren't dropping, you get into a depression. You get into the depression, it causes more numbers to not drop, and it just becomes this circle. So
it's tough because, you know, I think a lot of it is not, you know, it's hard living in the moment. You know, we think about so much in the past and, you know, like what could have we done differently so we weren't in this position. We may have a lot of regrets about the things we've, you know, eaten and things like that, our lifestyles. And then, you know, if we have a bad day, we're automatically thinking about, you know, like, well, we're not going to make our way in. And then it's just, you know, just steamrolls into this, you know, pardon my language, this big pile of crap of, you know, downfall because, you know, you're like, well, I'm already screwed for my way in. Like, what's it matter at this point? You know, instead of just living in the moment, in that day, and knowing that even if you make a mistake, the moment you make a mistake is the moment you can start bettering yourself and doing the right things and not thinking so much about what you did do wrong and how it's going to affect you in the future. Just do what you need to do now and know that it'll be all right.
Mhm. I mean, I think that Phil gave some great advice when he talked about stress. And I mean, this came about when we were talking about cheat meals, but he was saying if you have a cheat meal, or in this subject matter, if you have a moment where you weren't as strong, or you either gave in to food temptations or you didn't go do your workout, if you sit and fester and stress out about it and get that stress hormone going, that stress hormone is awful for your weight loss. And so he says, if you mess up or you have a cheat meal, just own it. I did that. I did it. There's nothing I can do to take it back. So just make the appropriate changes. We used to go to for our surgery, we used to go to a support group, and they talked about, you will fall off the wagon. You're going to fall off the wagon. There's no way around it. Nobody's perfect. You are going to fall off that wagon, but do not let that wagon run you over. However long it takes to get back up, you get yourself back up and you get yourself back on that wagon and you move forward. And that is probably the number one biggest lesson I learned from that support group, is don't let the wagon run over you.
That's so true, though, too, if you think about it.
Mhm. Yep. It's just, how many of us fall off the wagon and then just sit and cry about the fact that we fell off the wagon for X amount of time? I know I'm completely guilty about it.
I have never fallen off the wagon. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I think it's a challenge every week trying not to fall off that wagon. Every day. So,
I was going to say every day is a challenge for me not to fall off that wagon.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially, I say not especially me, but, my wife is pregnant and things like that, and, she doesn't need to eat the same way that I need to be eating. So, it's not fair for her, carrying our child and things like that. She should be able to eat a lot of the things that she wants to eat in, a healthy manner and things like that. But, she has all these cravings and things like that. She should be able to do and eat what she wants to eat. She's a lot healthier than I am, so in this moment in her life, so she should have that leeway, and here I am, trying to lose weight and things like that. So, there's always that challenge of, wanting to let her eat what she wants to eat. She's pregnant and things like that, and then, being faced with similar foods, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
I know when I was pregnant, the first 2 trimesters, I lost 30 pounds.
yeah.
I lost weight while I was pregnant. I was like, I need to get pregnant more often. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's funny because Alyssa did the same thing. She's already kind of small, but I think it was the first couple months she's just like, I'm down 5 or 10 pounds, and she's like, I just need to get pregnant more often. We're like, this is the weirdest thing. This is the weirdest thing.
I was considered high risk because of my weight, so my doctor actually told me, if you're losing weight, it's still okay because of the weight I was at with Jackson. So I was losing weight, but at the same time, Jackson was gaining weight. So towards the end of it, it started just evening out because he was getting so big.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a 9-pound baby, so.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't happen naturally, but still, that's a big boy.
God, women have it so much harder, I swear. I have no idea how you guys do some of the things you do.
Yeah, I had a friend that lost a lot of weight when she was pregnant. I think she was probably, I don't know, just a rough estimate, I'd say she was probably about 250 pounds when she got pregnant. And when she delivered, she was in the high hundreds, like I'd say maybe like 190 or something like that, but she lost a significant amount of weight. But her doctors were really proud of her, and they were working so closely with her. So it's not like, I would never say lose weight and don't talk to your doctors about it by any means. Like, she was going in, I know you don't have to go in weekly till near the end, but she was like going in weekly to make sure that the baby was gaining the weight the baby needed to gain, but she was losing the weight that she actually desperately needed to lose. Yep. And so it ended up working out really well. And then, yeah, like at the end when the baby's gaining like, what is it, half a pound a week or something, that's when hers started to line up as well. But when she had the baby, then of course she had that time frame where she was having a hard time losing weight, but then she just kept sticking to what she was doing before, which was a lot of walking and stuff like that. And so she would then take the baby on walks, and then she was actually able to get down back to, this was her third child, so I think she got back down to the weight she was when she got married. So she was really excited about that. I know that's not the norm, but I mean, if you're in constant contact with your doctor, we are firm believers of talking with your doctor before doing anything like that. But
I was going down bi-weekly because my doctor was an hour and 15 minutes away.
Oh, wow.
I wish I could show you a picture of, like, how to explain where I come from. Like, there's so much here in the Colorado area, and, like, I used to have to travel an hour and 15 minutes to my doctor, which was a town called Bangor, which I love Dr. Smith. I told him when we were moving, I was like, I will take flights back to Bangor just to have you as my doctor. I seriously adored him. Something I noticed that was happening in the chat, people were talking about how expensive healthy foods are compared to unhealthy foods. Mm-hmm. It's true, and I've talked to quite a few people about this, and I really believe that obesity has to do with, trying to think of the word, no, it's not society, but it's, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Government?
Well, it's...
Thanks, Obama.
Like how people are being paid and how many people are on the welfare system and stuff like that, and how people are surviving check to check. Mm-hmm. And I really truly believe that obesity stems from that, because, and I understand why healthier foods are more expensive, because they're made in factories. Like, unhealthy foods are made in factories. The foods you want are fresh from farms, and somebody worked hard to make sure all that crop grew. And I might not be making sense to anybody right now, but in my head this all makes sense to me. So please, somebody, if you totally understand what I'm saying,
oh, I got you.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean that's, luckily we have all survived the winter. Some of us are still, I know some parts of the country and the world are still struggling to shake the snowstorms, but as we start to get into the summer months, something that's nice is that we have the farmers markets, or even just when we were shopping this weekend, Tyson was saying that we need to go to Sprouts, which is a grocery store that's similar to a farmers market. Yep. Like a cross between the two.
We have one.
You have Sprouts? Okay, yeah. So, I don't know, I think that's the beautiful part about the summer, is just being able to go to the farmers markets. Or a lot of my friends have, they use the co-op. I struggle with that just because there's only 2 of us, but they like buy in and they get, it's called Bountiful baskets here in Utah. The Mormons named it Bountiful, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, they like, get this basket full of random goodness, and they never know what exactly will be in there, but there's always, I don't know, they get like 8 red potatoes and 16 stalks of celery and like any random mix of fresh fruits and vegetables that they get to go, use. And that always like intrigues me, but I do know, like, I Googled this a lot because one of our former members was on a very strict budget, and I was trying to find like eating healthy on a budget, and it's very difficult. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but like there's definitely ways. It requires you to do a lot of pre-planning.
It
And
does, because we're on a strict budget.
exactly, yeah. I mean, yeah, you definitely helped out a lot with those conversations. It requires planning a week or two in advance and then sticking to that, you know? And that's hard also because, especially if you can only go shopping every other week, vegetables, and certainly not fruits, because fruits go bad even faster, they don't last the 2 weeks. So it's just a way, like, you just have to completely change. Here it is. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. Like, you have to change your lifestyle to fit the fact that you need to have $100 worth of fresh groceries to last 2 weeks, you know? Like, it
We're on
can happen.
a budget of $150 per week, and we can only shop every 2 weeks because Travis gets paid bi-weekly. He is our income because I'm a stay-at-home mom. It just works best that way. Childcare is too expensive. I'm not going into the whole debate. Anyways, so I really have to look into what's worth buying, and am I going to? We do a lot of frozen organic vegetables. We have a Costco membership. That is my BFF. Like, we are like this.
Costco for the win.
Yeah, for sure. And Costco is going in a healthier, more organic direction than Sam's Club. I don't like Sam's Club because I don't like Walmart. I don't like the whole thing. I love Costco. And it's really nice because they have, our Costco in particular has 2 giant freezer aisles, one with just frozen organic veggies that come in bags the size of from my head to my belly button. I'm not even kidding. Our freezer is full. And they also have, the other aisle is organic fruits that you can thaw out and eat that way. We do smoothies. Jackson likes to chew on them like they're popsicles, so that's always nice. And so stuff like that, it's really, really helpful for us to do that, and it's usually pretty inexpensive.
That's brilliant. We shop at Costco a couple times, like once or twice a month, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. We are and aren't on a budget, if that makes sense.
Yep.
We should be on a budget, but we're getting there. It's a conversation that just happened because this one likes to spend too much. I was pointing at myself for anyone who didn't see. I do not know how to not spend money. But I don't think I really ever thought about that. And I think for me, being a picky person, I hear frozen and I'm like, it's gross or whatever. But to be honest, I mean, really, you make do with what you can, and you're still getting the nutrients, you're still getting all of that. And especially in, like, our freezer sucks with ice. Like, if we get this new apartment, there's an ice machine, and I'm really excited about it, but that's a different story. Our freezer is one of those ones that we can clean it every day, and it's still, the ice tastes like freezer burn and just disgusting. Yeah. And so it's
I think it's the water in our areas, to be honest with you.
I think so, yeah. I think so, too. I agree with that. But, like, the frozen fruits actually make for a better smoothie because then I don't have to use ice.
Yes.
Because that is the ice.
Seriously, look into it because to me it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
And we will get fresh fruits and veggies. Like Jackson and I and Travis adore cuties, those little tiny mandarin oranges. Mm-hmm. And usually Sprouts will have like a really, really good deal. It just happens to go every other week when we shop that they'll have really good deal on the 5-pound buckets of them. So we will get 2 big things of those because we go through them so fast. We'll get apples because Jackson's in a huge apple phase right now. That's his favorite word, apple.
Oh.
So we will, yeah, it's awesome, really, because he'll point to stuff and he'll be like, apple, apple. And so we do stuff like that, and we get fresh corn on the cob and stuff because we like that. Jackson's favorite vegetable right now. We will toss it on the grill or boil some, and that's what he wants with dinner and lunch.
That's
So
awesome.
that's what we will buy fresh like that. And usually once a month we'll buy a bag of zucchinis and squash to put on the grill. But most of our stuff is frozen because it is wallet friendly and it will last you the longest for the way we have to shop.
Mm.
I don't know if it's like a southern thing, you know, like we all think we're going to war and everybody thinks the zombie apocalypse is like right around the corner and all that stuff. But
That's
we
a
have
good thing too, don't worry.
but we have a lot of rural areas. Most of Georgia is rural, and tons and tons and tons of people have started their own farms. Mainly for themselves, but they have such an abundance of crop that they sell it, and it's super, super cheap. And they'll sell it on the side of the road, and like all this stuff. It's actually kind of awesome. Like you can get like crates of vegetables for like $5 or $10. It's like a lot of it's organic and things like that, and a lot of them are registered, you know, with the state and farmers associations and things like that, so you know it's legit and things like that. But other than that, Costco's where it's at. I could spend like all day at Costco.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh, like you can get everything you need. Like you need a sweater, you go to Costco. Do you need? Are you
No.
bored? Are you bored and want to go like sample food at Costco? Like go on Saturday because that's when all the samples are around. You know,
Seriously, we don't even have lunch on shopping days because we just are going to Costco.
Yeah.
We don't have lunch.
like Alyssa and I, we would go to lunch. Like, okay, we can't go to Costco hungry. We can't go to Costco hungry, and we'll be like full out of our minds. We'll get to Costco and I'm like, I'd try it, and we'll just like, should we get it? Like, yeah, we probably should. You know, got it.
They're so brilliant because there'd be something that I would never even consider buying, but the fact that they put it on a sample, I'm like, oh, what? And then of course it's magically on sale that day, and I'm like, it's $1.50 off. That's how the hummus I was
Lady selling it.
They got me with the hummus. Tyson brought it over like it was with chips, and I was like, because I thought it was like mango salsa or something, and I don't like citrus, so I was like, no. He's like, no, just try it. So I try it, and it's that spicy avocado hummus, and I'm like, it's delicious.
And the other sweet thing about Costco is like the return policy is like better than anything on the face of the earth. Like
Yes.
it doesn't matter if you have a receipt or like anything. Like if you didn't like it, you just bring it back, and they don't give a crap. They're just like. Like Alyssa and I made our first return the other day because we got the wrong orange juice and it tasted like garbage. And Alyssa's like coming up with this elaborate story like, oh, it's just not that good. And they're like, we don't really care. Like, we're not gonna
Money back.
Okay,
yeah, like here's your money.
Everybody says that though, and I must have gotten the one person that works at one Costco on the one bad day of their life, because we over Christmas with Tyson's family, we went and did dinner for like kind of like a halfway home situation, and we made taco soup, and so we went to Costco and got 2 big tubs of sour cream. Well, we really didn't need 2, we only needed 1, and so one of them we didn't even open. So I took it back because the 2 of us are not going to eat a tub of, sour cream. And I took it, and the guy was like, just so you're aware, we have to throw this away. And I was like, the seal is still on it. I didn't open it. And he's like, and I was also like, okay, can you still take it back too, though? And he's like, we'll take it back, but I'm just letting you know that when you return perishable items, we have to just throw it away because we don't know. In their defense, they don't know if we left it in the car all weekend.
Well, it's their problem at that point.
Exactly.
Like, you can do whatever you want with it. Like, I just want my money.
Exactly. I was just like, don't yell at me about that. That's your company's policy. Like, thanks for the guilt trip. This is the one and only thing I've ever returned. But I was just like, because I had heard so many people that were like, oh, the return policy. And so I walked out with my, like, $4, and I'm like, okay. Like, I felt so horrible.
Honestly, it's not like you're going to send it to children in Africa. I mean, it'd go bad by then. Like, no matter what you do, it's just gonna go bad.
And even if you did, people in Africa would be like, "Thanks for the sour cream." You know? You know,
No, you guys, speaking of that, I don't know if you saw on my channel the Flower Bomb Challenge. I was asked to help start this movement of kind of like the Ice Bucket Challenge, what they did for ALS. This was for the Operation Underground Railroad, which has to do with sex trafficking and that sort of thing. And I was really honored to be asked to be part of that. And it requires you dumping flour on yourself. And Tyson and I, we went shopping, and I completely forgot to go buy some flour. And then we were like, oh, we have some in the cupboard. So we used the one in the cupboard. So it had been in there for like 3 years. We don't bake. But then all of a sudden it exploded, like, oh, you could have sent that to Africa, to the starving children. And the Operation Underground Railroad had to come out with a statement saying, you know, hungry people is not an issue of lack of supplies, but an issue of getting those supplies to them. So this flour, they're like, there is not a shortage of flour, and this is not going to cause anything. Like, oh. Anyway, sorry, tangent. But we are running at an hour and a half now, so we should probably wind down eventually here. But
Can I just tell you one little story?
yes, please.
I talked to a woman the other day about the Costco return policy, and every year her and her husband go buy an air conditioner, and at the end of the summer they return it.
Really?
They do it every year. They pay like $500 for a nice air conditioner, and then they return it. I'm like, are you friggin' kidding? Just keep it.
That's so weird. It's like they're renting it.
Yes, I'm like, go to the rent-to-own. Go to Aaron's. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
so
God.
strange that you do that.
I wish I could do that with my car. Just like every
I don't like
year.
the car anymore. I'm gonna trade it in.
Yeah, I'm gonna just trade it in at no additional cost or anything like that. Just.
Like, how ridiculous. I just looked at her totally dumbfounded. I was like,
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, guys, thanks for the chat. I think that emotionally lifted my spirits. I'm definitely ready to recommit, get back on the bandwagon, make some changes. Again. Thank you to everyone in the chat for the amazing conversation. We appreciate it. We will be back next week with a taped weigh-in where we, of course, will have Kurt and our newest member, Josh. So 3 guys and just us 2 girls this time. So we're really excited about that. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. Todd, Chantel, thank you for the conversation. You guys rock. Everybody, their channels are all linked below in the description. So please make sure to go subscribe to everybody. We all appreciate that. And thanks for joining us tonight, you guys.
bye, guys. We
Thanks,
love
guys.
you. Thank you for the support.
Yay! Love
It's
you guys.
been a pleasure.
Yes, for sure. Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
I hit